What's up, guys? Got another video for you. It's a burst fade with scissor length on top. I'm going to start off by wetting the hair and giving the client whatever length he wants on top of the scissors. And you're going to go over the overall the head pretty much. So what I like to do is I like to blow dry the hair when I'm done, just so I can get everything nice and laid down where it needs to be. I'm going to do the sides to a number 4. What I'm doing is I'm just laying the foundation for my blend later on. So I'm just going to bring it up and out, and I'm going to try to give myself less work later by blending it as good as I can with just the clipper alone. So if you do have any extra hairs that don't blend good, you could easily do what I'm doing here and just make one chop, and everything will come out perfect when you're done. So you're basically just blending along to the number 4, and as you can see, 2 seconds and it looks way better. So now it's ready for me to start the burst fade. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my trimmers. Here I'm using Wall Detailers. They're probably my favorite trimmers that there are. I'm gonna make the circle around the ear, and I do have the wide T-blade on there that you have to buy separate. I have my Wall 5-star seniors, and I have them fully opened, and I'm gonna make another circle around that circle, probably around 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And these rules apply to any other clipper you can use. Anything that's Wall, you can do the same thing. So I have my number 3 guard on there, and I have it closed. I'm trying to blend down from the 4 into the area where I'm going to be working on. So I'm going to go across real quick with the 3, going on a radius around the ear. Make sure everything's always on a circle, because that's what the burst fade is. It's what the look you're going to be going for. So I pop my 2 on there, and I'm going to come just below the 3. And mind you, I keep everything closed in this video. You could open, put it midway as far as the lever goes if you need. I like to just get through the longer lengths of hair and get straight down to my blending area as quick as possible. So this way, I can spend more time for the fade that's going to be really seen, which is pretty much from the 1 to the 0. So now I'm gonna get my 1.5. So I got the 1 open. And it's going to create a line because the 1 doesn't blend into the 2 with the walls. You have to use a 3/16. So yeah, I do know I'm making a line, and it's going to have to happen in this case. So I'm going to be just blending down into that 1/2, and you can see it's getting there, but it's not quite there yet. And I'm still going around in a circle. Okay. And I'm adjusting right now. I just adjusted it halfway. This way I can cut hair just a little bit shorter. And you're slowly starting to see the blend come together, and it's starting to look a little bit better. And, for some of you, it's going to look worse before it's better, because, that's just how it is. Usually when you're almost done is when it starts to look good. And now I'm fully closed, and I'm going to try to knock the hair just a little bit shorter, trying to get it to blend into that 1/2. Use the edges of your clippers if you need. Hold the ear with your other hand. This could be a pretty tight blend, because you don't have a lot of room in that small area. So do what you got to do to this way you don't hurt the client's ear. So now I finally got the 3/16 guard on there, and I got it open. And I'm going to try to knock down the number 2 and blend it a little bit better into that 1.5. As you can see, now it's really starting to look a lot better. I'm going right around the ear, being careful of hurting the client on accident with the clippers. And I'm combing a lot. After every few strokes, I'm combing. This way the hair lays down nice and flat, and I know how it's going to look when it's fully done and fully blended. If you don't comb and you actually cut the hair and fade, when you comb it later, it could look like a mess. So make sure you keep combing all the time. I don't use I used to use brushes, but I guess it's not the cleanest thing to do. So I just use combs, and I cycle them in and out through the jar after I clean them in some Barbicide. So now I have my regular clippers, and I close the blade a little bit, and I'm trying to bring my second guideline down into my first, which is the 1/2 blade, into where I put the mark with the trimmers, the 0. And now you can see it really coming together. So I try to go over it as much as I can, making as many strokes as I need. And I'm also using the edges of the clipper. This way, you can get into some tight spaces and really have a refined look when you're all said and done. So simply just adjusting up and down, you know, and you could see, as you see the blend coming together, you're going to learn over time how you need to adjust your clipper, even if it's just a little bit at a time. That's how you get, you know, a very good blend, is by adjusting your clipper a lot. It's the only way you're going to do it. And here I have the 1/16 because obviously the half didn't blend into the number 1 100%. So I'm just going to go and lighten up some areas that I see are too dark, and without, you know, going up too high, because, you know, you don't want to make any more lines. And if you do, you know, it's not the end of the world. You just have to get a higher guard, go over it real quick, you know, lightly knock the hair down, and you should be fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the roundness near the temple area, and I like to approach it a certain way. I like to know where I'm going to finish it, mark that line, and then I connect the whole thing. I use the edge of my trimmers and I make the line, and then I'll go backwards and I'll use the, you know, the front of the blade, and I'll remove all the hair that wasn't part of the actual shape up. As you can see, you know, it gives you a real quick, real fast, nice shape to the actual, you know, the arch. So, you know, you'll go over it a couple times, make sure it's nice. And now I'm just going to bring this line down, because he's going to keep a full beard, you know. And this is pretty much most of the video. I didn't even do the other side, because the other side is going to be the same exact thing as far as blending and techniques. So I'm continuing with my typical shape up, you know, and here he wants his hair up, so comb his hair up, do the shape up underneath, and, you know, just make sure everything's pretty natural, nice and clean. And in the back, he had no clue what he wanted for you know, what style, so he let me do what I wanted, and I just made it round. Why not? So, you know, there are different kinds of techniques you could do back here, make it look crazy. I'm pretty simple. I like more of the casual look. So I did just round it off for him. And this is a good friend right here that I actually met from YouTube. And he happened to live in my same town. Been watching me for probably a couple of years. And he had no clue I was right down the street. So that, you know, it's pretty awesome. So he came through, you know, got acquainted, real cool guy. And he actually has some decent hair. So I said, hey, can I do a video? I need to do a burst fade. No problem. He came through, you know, he actually hooked me up with some good pomade that I ended up using in the video. I've never used before. Suavecito, and now that I've used it, I'm actually addicted to it. I bought 3 or 4 cans. So here I end up using a razor. You know, you've seen plenty of videos where they use the razor, so I'm not going to get too in detail with it. I don't need a 20-minute video. But this is the stuff I use right here. Awesome stuff. I think it's usually around 12 bucks a jar or something like that. I got mine for 10 from a barber shop. They came and delivered it here, so I'm just going to massage it into his hair. Make sure you get complete coverage and get it everywhere you need it to. And you know, you basically just comb the style that you want, and then you're going to be golden. It's going to look nice. It's going to stay there all day. They have a couple different holds. There's regular hold, there's firm hold, you know, a little stronger stuff. And the stuff is amazing. So I'll definitely be using that a lot when I'm cutting hair. So now we're just getting the style that he wanted. For the front's going to be up. And now he's pretty much all set. So, you know, this is these are the results. At least you get to see some pictures, some close-ups, and hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys learned something. All right. Thanks for sticking with me. Subscribe if you guys haven't. It's free. All right. Peace out, guys.